All right, y'all, let's get into part 2 of the 100-day election, the Israel war count, the Last Supper at the Olympics, the New Covenant, and these types of things, and some rabbit trails, all right? So day 345 is 11 months and 9 days. That's the 11-9, the 9-11, and the Israel war connects us to that 29-11, and then the Netanyahu, it is equivalent to 29-11s, if you do the numbers. So I posted that video. That takes us to 9:15. All right, and the 9:15 that takes us to the 9:15, and the 9:15 takes you to the 9/11/2001. The 1121 that equals 5. That equals 15. So that's just a connection in the matrix where you have the number and then it equals the word out and then the number or whatever. And then that number would be like a crown kind of thing. And that crown is the 9T. That 9T is that 45. And then that 47 for that coming for that 9/11. And that 11 is the L even for the God even, because L is the God in the Hebrew. The Hebrew, the brew, and the L for the Beersheba, and those types of things. But and the beer, and those are for the so-called the drunkenness of Babylon, and the drunkenness of Babylon is given through the wind, the wine, and the shots that everybody's taking with the ears and the eyes and all those things that's going on now with the world stage. And then also people just load it up with either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, 7 doses, okay, behind the bar. And that bar is that Ray Public, the pub, where you go and get your terump. All right. So, and that terump, the rump is made in that Jamaica. And that ham maker, that ham is that for that Christmas ham that's cooking right now. And it's already been put in the oven a couple times. And as it's being put in the oven, it's being opened and checked. Opened and checked. Okay? But we'll eventually get to that 2024, that Thanksgiving or that Christmas Eve party. All right? That's a lot of the Christmas Eve play and the Christmas Eve production for that Hanukkah time frame. So we got the 345 days, the tri-45, tri-Trump, and that's 9/15, and then the 9/15, the 15. He gets this sentencing date on the 10/15, or I'm sorry, the 11/15. The 11/15, the 2 months, that'd be a 4D 2 months, the 9/15 to the 11/15, the 2, okay? And then you get the 4D 2 months into the 4D 2 months, all right? So, because it's like a clock. It's like a spiritual and carnal. And it's coming together. This is like what they're talking about in Ezekiel 1. Alright? It's not about fucking UFOs or whatever they say. Alright? But as all things are written, all things must be fulfilled. So that's where you're going to see UFOs. So either way, in the Amplified version, this is the Trump trial in Ezekiel 1. So spiritual and carnal, the clocks of time coming together. Alright? And then once they come, you understand when it fucking hits, and then it releases into a new heaven and earth. You have 7 candlesticks, the mountains of is not and is to come, and all those. Is not, it ends. Is to come, it keeps going onto the other arm. This arm, the right arm, goes into the body. Because the right arm, the left arm, they're interchangeable depending on if you look in a mirror. And since we live in America, that mirror is transforming for that transformational times. It's where we can't get caught up on this translucent in this sea of glass that we're looking on, that we're living on. So as this spiritual and the carnal, 7 candlesticks, the dragons, the tree, the roots, then we come into a new time. Are you going to be on this one that just goes into the dust? The dust, Adam, no knowledge. And bond can't go into the earth. It's only in Eden, and that Eden is being taken out. And as the Eden's being taken out and burned, they have nowhere to go. They have nowhere to cover up. They've thrown down the apple. They've become the Nimrod. They have not become as one of us. They've not become as God. They have not accepted the light. They've become as beast. They've become the monkey men of the the electronic bill. Lucian, the devolution, the delusion. The carnal man, the beast man, the Jew that seeks salvation, Jesus said, is seared by the 666, and they will not be going on. They are of this tree of the old, the carnal, and we are going into a time of spirit. And these hands are tossing out cards from the deal here at the hands of poker for the hell on earth. Which card you gonna take? I got tricks in some. Got pre-stacked decks in some. I got trump cards up the sleeve. You playing bridge? You playing spades? Do you even know you're playing? If you don't know you're playing, then you're certainly going to lose. The lose. Well, that's where shit happens. That's the stall. That's where you're left behind. The stall is where you keep the horse. Those 4 horsemen are going to get nuts. Those horses, put the saddle on them. Can't break them. Can't break those horses. They got to be stalled up. They're not useful. Or they might need to be put down. Four horsemen control the minds. 4 horsemen are part of the 4 rivers of Eden. So, the Olympics started on 7/26 as far as the opening ceremony, and that was the 42nd week of the Israel war. And we saw Elon Musk coming on talking about the woke virus and his child, the trans, and all these other things, okay? This is the spiritual into carnal. We see the invisible enemy, okay? The invisible enemy, as far as the woke, the virus, the Biden got the COVID, and then the next day, the coronation of Kamala. Okay, this is the corona, the crowning of a birth, the birth of a nation. All right. And then tomorrow is the 8-2, and then Biden's going to be 82 on 11/20. But the 11/20, the 20 is the Trump twin, and then that's the Gemini on the back side, and then the 11 is the 47 on the ad dings. But the where was I? All right, so as Biden gets the corona, that's the sun, and then Kamala, the moon, gets the coronation, the coronation, and then this is the spiritual into carnal, and the sun gives life, and the moon takes life, right? So then the moon gets the coronation, so this is the taking of life coming onto the earth, and this is the birth of that coming on to us. So this is where we can see the stages preset with the XT rods, the extras, the armies that have gathered, and if they didn't gather for that, they're going to gather for the magazine and those things. But the woke, the trans, the Last Supper, these things, okay? This is giving birth to something. And we need to realize who's getting upset and supposedly being mocked and those things, okay? And we see a test of lights, and I'm going to do another video connecting God and Christians and their nation gathering up and these things going on, and how Satan has transformed the light and he's gathering the bond, okay? But the invisible enemy, okay, replaying the 80s, O.J. Simpson, Magic Johnson, the Johnson for the speaker in the House, the 119, the custom mic made, that Mike Lindell, the for Biden fruit, those things, okay, that hive, the AIDS, the the Lego event, the autoimmune deficiency, okay? So the invisible enemy, that woke virus, the trans virus, the Last Supper, okay? These things are all kind of going from a spiritual to a carnal, okay? As they go to a spiritual to a carnal, this is where we're going to see different things play out. And this is where we see the stage has been preset by that and by the red dye 40 and the blue 1 and all this other shit that the people are eating and transforming themselves and their children by the shit foods and drinks they give them in different ways. And it's unnatural, and this is a different test, but this is a whole, I'm going to get into all these things to connect some lights for you so you understand what's going on, okay? Because you are puppets and you don't know it, and I'm trying to give you some scissors to cut the strings, all right? I work with scissors all day long. I know how to move the blades, all right? You're about to fucking wake up into a nightmare. Do you understand? We're going to end here and do a part 3.